everyone, and welcome to Issues by Elsie. I'm your girl Elsie Owanto. Thanks for watching, thanks for your subscription. We are definitely going somewhere, and to be able to get there, like I would always tell you on this show, we must get rid of any form of evil in our lives and in our communities. Remember, we live and we learn. Life is definitely for the living. A man belonged to a secret society in the government and in the regime where he lives and works. Being a member of that regime or for the government, it is known that if you have to keep having promotion upon promotion and climbing the ranks in the government in whatever sector that you belong in, then you must belong to this secret cult. What many people do not understand is that most of these nations, especially African nations, La Republic in particular, it's ruled by people in the government who belong to the secret cult. Yes, most of them, to be able to climb and get to certain ranks, you have to be a part of this occultic society, which many people are very, very aware of, and others just spend time pretending and being like it's not true. But well, it don't change a damn thing because it's true. So yeah, this man, he belonged to one of the secret cults of the regime, and in this secret cult, he had been given a mandate. Just to backtrack, before, when the man joined the secret society, he knew that he was going to gain some resistance, especially with the kind of conditions or evil mandates that was being given to him in the occultic society. So in order to have his way, he decided that he was going to mandate his wife to join. So he came and told the wife that he needed her to be part of that secret society. When the lady tried to resist, and it was this kind of lady who loved to flaunt around the cars, live big, change car upon car, because definitely the man was changing cars, showing the money and everything, and she was living the life. So when the man asked her to join the secret cult, or that this was going to be the condition, she didn't want to lose that life, because the man told her, it's either you join or I'm going to divorce you. And so she didn't want to live that life of riding the latest big car, flaunting it around, being the madam, having that respect among other women. So what she did was that she decided to go and join the man in the secret cult. When she joined the man in the secret cult, then her lips were sealed, and so she could not reprimand the man with whatever evil that was going on or the man had been mandated to do. And what had this man been mandated to do? The mandate given by the secret cult to the man was that he was going to sleep, or he had to sleep with any girl that any of his sons comes around with and presents like a fiancée. The condition was that before the son marries any lady, the father, him as a father, must have slept with the girl. So his sons will meet girls, bring the girls and introduce them to Papa or Daddy. And then they will soon notice that once they introduce these girls to their father, then the girls will break up the relationship. Because the girls, for some reason, the man will woo the girls, intend sleep with the girls, and then some of the girls, even there was a situation where the girl outrightly denied the guy and denied the son and told the son, I prefer your dad to you. And so the guys brought fiancé upon fiancé, but none would last with them, and so they cannot get married. The guys will sometimes want to sit down and they felt like they were in chains, because they were so locked up, and their mom knew what was happening, but their mom sat and watch their lives being destroyed because she herself was under oath and couldn't say anything. One of the man's sons, who was known to be very intelligent, the man, but had, because of his actions in the secret cult, since his mandate was to destroy his children, he pretended and said he was going to send the boy overseas to do medicine. So he took the boy and sent the boy overseas, but he knew very well that that was just a camouflage. The boy will amount to nothing. In the overseas where he was going, he wasn't going to school. A few people who knew him, the fees paid, and he had traveled overseas, gone to a European country or what, they knew he wasn't going to school. He was not even doing anything. And if you ask the guy, why are you here? What are you doing? He would simply just tell you he doesn't know. He'll tell you he doesn't know what is going on with his life because he was being controlled by powers that he was not even aware of. And then the other siblings who were still at home with their parents had all that demise where they would bring girls, the girls would soon disappear, would tell them that they cannot marry them, and things were just not okay for the family. And their mom, like I said before, their mom sat and watched them being destroyed, and she wouldn't say anything because she was under oath. She was part of the secret cult. She preferred the flaunting of the riches and stuff like that. And one of the guys felt like he started noticing something. But when he goes to talk to someone, for instance, he might call you up or call up a friend or call up a relative and really want to like report and say, I need you to come, I want to tell you something. And the people will come, the person might come and sit, and then he will actually come and meet you. But once he's seated with you, he'll be like, oh no, it's nothing. He's unable to talk. He's unable to actually say what he has seen his dad do with regards to their lives, with regards to their children, and because everybody is kind of under oath, everybody is being manipulated, everybody is being controlled. The other siblings overseas, they're just wandering around, not going to school. At least the shame of saying that, okay, maybe his children are not really amounting to anything was not there because, yeah, he had when he notices that you are really not becoming anything, rather than let the community or people talk about it, about why is this man in the government, why are his children like this, he bundles you and sends you overseas, and you go and stay overseas there. You are not doing anything, you are not going to school, you are not doing anything, but just so that people will not be talking. Why am I telling us this story? Many people are unaware of why African nations, most African nations, and let me say La République. Yeah, let me use La République. Many people do not understand why those nations or these nations do not grow. Nothing is happening to them. Most of the people who rule these nations, they travel overseas on a daily basis. In fact, they have dual nationalities, but won't accept other citizens to be dual nationals. They travel overseas, they see the development, they see the progress in other nations and even in other African nations, they see it. But why is their own nation not going anywhere? I put it to you, is because the people that rule these nations, the ministers or whatever it is, they have mandates to keep, occultic mandates to keep these nations like this in perpetual poverty and destruction. If you come from a village where there are, let me say, like 2 wizards, let me use wizards. Wizards are the men, right? If you come from a village, look at your village, where you know 2 wizards, let alone 1 or let alone 2 wizards, your village, I don't care. It would take the extra grace of God before you can actually see development in it. Because what those wizards do is that they have a mandate to keep that village the way that it is. When you want to see anybody who is trying to progress out of it or become something, you just hear the person is dead, right? And yeah, and stuff like that. It's the same thing with these nations. You have these men and women in power who belong to these occultic societies that mean no good for nobody. I give you a good example. This story I told. If a man has a mandate to destroy his sons, to destroy his lineage, the way this one I just told you has done or is doing, what is a nation? If a human being, a man takes pride in the progress of his sons, if a man has a mandate to sleep with the would-be wives of his sons, knowing very well that when he sleeps with them, the children cannot marry them because the women will not marry their sons, right? Because that is it. The whole idea is sleep with them and then they will just deny the marriage or refuse the son and stuff like that. If a man has a mandate to destroy his own lineage, what is a nation? Because a nation starts with a family. A man, a viable human being like that, holding a renowned position in the government, is destroying his own family, which is part of the nation. And then you think he cares about the entire nation? I put it to you, he doesn't. And so it is with many of the people that rule most of these African nations. That is why you will see elections rigged. That is why you would, day in and out, no roads, no hospitals, nothing, because you have these men and women in power and in government who belong to these secret societies that give them these mandates to be nothing but destructive, to do all the evil they can do, beginning with their own families. Some of you watching me, you come from these families. You're overseas or you're somewhere, or you're not overseas. You might not be in America or in Europe or somewhere. Or you might be in America and you are in Europe. But your lives is amounting to nothing. People that you used to be in school with, who had nothing to eat or would beg from you to eat because of the money that your family had, your parents were stealing and giving to you and things like that. Today, you look at your lives, you look at the people, they are way far better than you. You are rooming, they say, in fact, some of you, maybe after secondary school, there was enough money, you were not even, your parents didn't even waste time to send you, for you to be wasting time at high school, and they bundled you and sent you overseas. And you came overseas, you're wondering, some of you are in jail, some of you have criminal records, you can't even work or do anything. Some of you just don't even know what is going on with you, right? You don't know what is going on with you. You just know that you cannot even go to school. Some of you have become drug addicts. Some of you you don't know what is happening to you, but all you just know is that things are not working. And any other person who knows the family from which you come from and looks at you overseas, people can just stop overseas. It ends overseas here because that's the intent of your parents. Shove you up the way so that okay, it's only those who are able to maybe go overseas that can really like tell the story. Those back at home in the government where they are ruling and keep destroying, they don't know about that. They just know that, oh, so and so person's child is overseas. But you are overseas, you are doing nothing, you are nothing, you are a drug addict, some of you are in jail, will never come out from here. You know why? Your parents in these governments, they have mandates to make sure you amount to nothing. That is the mandate they have. But you don't know. So why they destroy you as their children and continue to destroy nations? Because if they can destroy you as their blood, what is the nation? That is the question I continue to ask. If a man has the mandate to destroy his own children, what more is the next human being or a nation? He don't care. He don't give a damn. That is why the nation is the way it is. You sick, you go to the hospital, you die because no medical care. Because he's doing his bit. His kids are nothing. I met a man too who said he used to be, the grandfather. Yep. The grandfather used to be, let me say, a personal something, but worked with the likes of Mobutu. Yes, Mobutu. Go and check Mobutu's life. We all know Mobutu. We are Mobutu's children today. Yeah, but the man he worked with Mobutu, and is said to have, the man himself confessed he belonged to one of the secret society at the time with Mobutu and the stuff like that regime. And the man, before dying, he told his wife, so when the man joined the secret society, he sacrificed his first son. Yeah, the man sacrificed his first son, and the sacrifice was that first son was never going to amount to nothing. So he eventually confessed it to the wife. When the man confessed it to the wife knew. And this was a guy so intelligent, but he just wouldn't do anything. And so the man also sent the son overseas. I think it was in America or somewhere. And the guy came and wouldn't even he couldn't even complete school. He couldn't do anything. Or let me say, even if he got a job, the man couldn't just do nothing. Nothing was working for the guy. And so the whole family was surprised why such an intelligent boy, who used to be so intelligent, he just couldn't get his life together until his mother told the family that you guys should stop wasting your time. He will never amount to anything because he is the one that the father sacrificed in the occultic regime of Mobutu. Yeah. And the guy wasted his life like that. Like they say in my language, and eventually died as nothing. But then the family knew about it, and then they learned their mistake from there. And also they saw that it's true, because even Mobutu's children or whatever, there's really nothing to say about the family. Really nothing. You don't know where they are, if at all there's still any living and things like that. That is why most African nations are the way that they are. If we do not, as a people, you wonder, it doesn't matter how you claim elections are clean and fair. There will never be clean and fair elections because of these powers, these strong occultic societies that hold these nations, that rule these nations. We cannot only but pray. Because what holds these nations is stronger than meets the normal eye. And what we all need to understand is, if they can sacrifice their children, forget about you as a nation or you as the next person. You are nothing. So don't be crying for, because he don't care. The one that is his blood from his loins, he's destroyed. So he's destroying the next person is nothing. May God show us mercy in these nations. May we vote people. May we vote people that fear God. May we bring to power, and when we notice these things, because another thing is, people just talk about it on the ground and do nothing, and continue to go and stand and help in the rigging of elections. Continue to go and stand and be tribalistic. Oh, if it is not from my village, oh, I'm not voting the person from my village. And even when you know that the next person or the other candidate has the potential to come and really do something. No, tribalism and all this thing. And we continue to stay in the same place. No roads, no hospitals. Continue to vote and keep occultic people to destroy us until we learn our lessons and kick out all these occultic men and women that are ruling our societies and our nations. We should forget, because we're not going nowhere, because they have destroyed their own families, so they don't care about us. They don't care about us. They don't care about us. Because if they care about us, then our nations will grow. But since they have mandates to destroy their families, because a nation starts with a family. Every nation is one family at a time. So if I am a minister and I've destroyed my own family and I'm talking about nation building, that's a big lie. There's no way I'm going to talk nation building when my own family is not good. Nation building starts with they say charity begins at home. Oh yes, that's where it starts. May God help us in these African nations. And may God open our eyes to recognize the people we actually put in position to be our leaders. Until then, I rest my case as Elsie Awanto. Thanks for watching.
I invite you to keep regular dates with me on my new series of Issues by Elsie on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.
And thanks for joining me on this journey